Garbage Worker Convention.
I'm going to rip that jersey off your face and throw it out the window.
Okay.
Welcome back. We haven't
Okay,
even ever done one episode.
I got this. Let me sit up straight.
It doesn't have to be professional, you know that.
I got this.
Okay.
I got this. What is up, everybody? And this is the House Divided College Football Show. I'm your host, Micah.
And I'm your second host, Ethan. Hey.
And me and Ethan are doing a college football show because we figured, why not? And the people would love it.
Why are you talking to the mic like that? You don't have to do that. You look like you're about to eat it like a ice cream cone.
The people would love it.
Okay. Whatever you say.
So,
Micah,
yeah.
tell us a little bit about ourselves.
Well, I'm Micah Olson. You guys know me, Micah Olson Vlogs. This is my friend / coworker /
Friend,
Ethan.
brother in Christ.
Ethan, and we're here to talk about college football from our point of view.
How did this happen? How did this come about?
Because we got inspired by our friends who are letting us use their studio today. Josh and Patrick, shout out. The Good Dumb Fun Show. We're here in Good Dumb Fun Studios. Like I said, they are not a sponsor, but they are letting us use their studios.
That's right.
So, yeah, we're happy to be here.
Honestly, from our perspective, it seems like we just talk a lot about football in the office, and we seem to have, well, when I say we, I mean Micah seems to have a lot of passionate takes about all of his football opinions being the truth, and so in that case, we're gonna come on here and we're gonna argue about Micah's football takes and talk about how they're probably wrong.
I feel like I'm growing, though.
You are. You are growing as a person.
I wanted to pull this out. We got a little agenda here today.
So our plan today, fellow Myconians, is essentially to walk through the games for the upcoming week, our takes on those games, and then we're at the end of our time tonight, we're going to talk about specifically Auburn and Alabama and their upcoming seasons.
And we may fight.
Yes. As you can tell, Micah is a fan of a team in Tuscaloosa that I'm not going to name because
Roll Tide, baby.
their colors are the color of fire. Why would I talk about that, you know? That's just fire's hot and yuck, right? And then I'm an Auburn fan. So we're going to talk about Auburn and how, you know, God is an Auburn fan, so we're going to talk about that.
God and Bear Brown are tight.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the schedule coming up here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Had to wear the Ryan Williams jersey because that is our guy, Ryan Williams. I met him once.
Yeah, he.
We have to cut that. That gets cut.
Keep going.
So yeah, we just wanted to focus on a few topics. The first being, was the camera supposed to turn off over there? You're good. Okay. We just wanted to talk about a few topics, starting off with this last weekend's first game.
That's right.
Ethan, what did you think about Farmageddon?
Farmageddon, for those who don't know, it's the game between Iowa State and Kansas State, played in Ireland.
Yeah, this
Ireland.
year. Yeah.
So
I always played in Ireland.
Yeah, but lots of beer probably drank at that game. But I didn't watch the game, but I watched the highlights. I personally had Kansas State coming in and winning that game.
The show is called The House Divided. However, there are some takes where me and Ethan aren't
agree.
divided.
We do agree on some of those.
And I thought Kansas State had this one in the bag. I did think it was going to be a close game. We did see that Iowa State was able to get the win. For all we know, though, both these teams could be the best teams in the Big 12, and we could see them back in December in the championship.
We could.
That is if they don't come up against teams like Texas Tech and Arizona State.
That's
so
right.
That'll be big. But I really did think that despite the rainy conditions and some of the injuries that happened with the player on Kansas State that got injured, unfortunately, I do think that this is a good starting point for them. Avery Johnson for Kansas State and Rico Beck for Iowa State both really had some good plays, some good runs, some good throws. And ultimately, it was a battle for the win.
That's right. And honestly, I think that going into it, Avery Johnson out of high school, the number one player in Kansas, high 4-star quarterback. He looks like the little kid off of the little girl off of what's the
Remember
movie?
the Titans.
Remember the Titans, yeah. But he honestly, I was really high on him. I watched him some last year. He showed some athletic flashes. I think out of high school he was on the freak list that they do for like every year for like the best athletes coming out of high school. And so I really thought that he was going to elevate his game to the next level. I was not really that impressed with his game. I did. Let me finish. I do think that he threw for 275 yards, but most of his big passes were just like long passes, and they weren't even that accurate. Like I know one was just a really bad play by the defense, and so I'm not saying that he can't
I think both teams will get better as the season goes on. It was the first game of the year.
Yeah.
The weather and the conditions. You're playing out of the country.
That's right.
So there's a lot of conditions that made that game hard to play. I will say though, kind of segueing, did you see the fight between Avery Johnson's dad and his brother? They had some words.
I did. I don't know what happened. First of all, I didn't know his Second of all, you probably have to cut that out. But second of all, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, like they were literally beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah, it was bad. People had to pull them apart.
Yeah.
With the video editing magic, I'm pretty sure Patrick can put in some stuff for it. Okay. Kind of moving on from that, before we get into some game predictions and kind of the expectations for Alabama and Auburn this season, what did you think about the recent change in the SEC that Greg Sankey announced the other day about them going to 9 games and then a quality out-of-conference game?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Honestly, my thoughts were more losses throughout the SEC.
Somebody's got to get more wins. Somebody's got to get more losses.
Right.
And that kind of feeds into the playoff picture as well.
That's right.
I don't know if you also heard about the metric changes based on strength of schedule, where they're going to be doing that this year. So I think that really is going to be determined on how they do that with the strength of schedule this year and the quality wins and quality losses.
Yeah.
Because if the SEC gets shafted, if Greg Sankey feels that way and any of the other athletic directors for any of the other teams, they may decide that this whole 9-game expansion and quality win thing isn't something that's worth their time.
Yeah.
Which I also think is kind of a bargaining chip. If you realize the Big Ten was like, hey, we're going to do a 28-game playoff NFL style. This was kind of in response to the SEC and them not kind of agreeing on like a playoff format together. I honestly think that was a move to push the SEC to do this, and when the metrics came out, the SEC was like, okay, we'll play ball. And then that, of course, will move from a 12-team playoff this year to a 16 next year.
Yeah, I personally don't like the 12-team playoff. I mean, I don't even want.
I think it's too many.
Yeah.
We're playing college football too much
agree.
into January.
I think 8 is plenty. I think 8 is a good one.
I was fine with 4.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we're at 12, I would rather stay at 12.
Sure.
But it seems like the move to 16.
You want to stay at 12 so that Alabama can get in, right?
Hey, I mean,
that's why.
I mean, if I was wanting to get in, I mean, maybe 16 would be better.
Yeah, that's right.
So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? The SEC is going to be crazy, especially with 9 games. Okay, so now we're at the part of the show where we're going to predict some games. So let's pull out my list so I don't forget the big games coming up. So Thursday night, we have big game, and Josh Horton out there, you're going to appreciate this one. I have Nebraska. We've got year 3 Matt Rule. If everybody knows, year 3, he went to Temple. He was at I forget the other school he was at, but you know what I mean. He was at the year 3. Every time
he was in the NFL.
He's been
you.
At a school, he has done.
He went to the Carolina Panthers, and then he came back to college.
They've done it. He's just always had year 3 be like the best year he's been at a place.
Yep.
And honestly, we could see that repeat.
Sure.
Dylan Raiola looks good. They've got some other good players, and they're playing Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's not a bad team. But I think Nebraska has a chance to have a good season.
Yeah.
If they can get hot early in the season, get some wins, and the fact that Michigan's head coach Shemai Moore, he's not going to be coaching the Nebraska game at Nebraska. If they can stay hot and win that game, who knows what happens by the time they play Penn State later in the season.
That's right. My big prediction here is Nebraska wins in a pretty
pretty close game.
I mean,
maybe.
I would say at least 10 points. I think they're going to win around 10.
Yeah.
But I think the kicker for me is going to be Dylan Raiola. I mean, a 5-star out of high school.
Dylan Raiola is going to have more pocket awareness.
Yeah, I think just him improving probably is going to,
If he can be more aware and he can get his O-line, like if the O-line can be better, if they built on that, I definitely think Nebraska will be in for a good year.
That's right.
I am going to pick Nebraska as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, moving on quickly.
Does Ethan not get to say his picks?
Oh,
No, I picked. I said
did.
Nebraska.
He
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, so moving on. Friday, we've got 2 games. Ethan, would you like to take the first game? I think this one's a little close to home, but on the road.
So Auburn, the Tigers are playing the Baylor Bears in Waco, Texas. It's an away game for us. It's a big game. I think Auburn right now, I think the spread favors us by 3, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, obviously I'm going to pick Auburn to win this game. I have some reason as to why, and we'll get into these at the end, but I think Auburn's receivers, honestly, some of one of the best rooms in the nation as far as receivers. And I just think we're too much on the receiver end for Baylor. I think our defensive backs that's one of our better rooms on defense. And so I just think we maybe have the quarterback for Baylor he's a pretty good quarterback, but I think we may turn him over once or twice. But if the key is if Jackson Arnold can just get the ball to the receivers and let them do what they're supposed to do, we're going to win the game.
As much as I dislike Auburn as a Bama fan, and I really dislike Auburn, I'm not gonna use the H word, but
You mean hug? You really want to hug the Auburn?
I don't think that's the word.
All right.
But I do think Auburn. I'm gonna pick Auburn for this game. I can't not pick Auburn in good faith. As much as I would love to see them lose, have another bad season, which I feel like Ethan has that same feeling about Alabama this year. But we'll get to that. I honestly think Auburn will win, but I do think it is all around Jackson Arnold. They have the talent. It comes down to Jackson Arnold, and I think it comes down to some of the coaching decisions as well. If they can get all that working, Auburn could be a better team this year. I don't know if they're going to make the playoff, but definitely this would be a start that they need big. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, our next game, Colorado and Georgia Tech. I believe, it's Georgia Tech is at Colorado. We got Deion Sanders. The biggest thing is Travis Hunter's not there. Shador's not there. I'm a little worried because I know they've got a new quarterback, and I know they've got some stuff in play, but I'm not sold on Colorado. I think this year may be a little bit of a rebuilding year for them. They're going to have to make some things work if they want to get back in the conversation of being a good team for the Big 12. I do also think that Georgia Tech looks good. Brent Keyes is a great coach. If you looked last year, they almost beat Georgia in overtime.
But let me just counter here and say that the reason that Georgia Tech was good is because they had Eric Singleton.
That's true.
That is he's now transferred to Auburn.
That's true.
And so that was their best receiver.
That is true.
So
I do think though that Georgia Tech has a good coach and has some returning production that I think could make them.
That's right.
Look
and they have a really good. Hayes King has been there. I think this is his 3rd year being there. He's a good runner. I honestly think on NCAA he's like 88 overall. So that tells you something.
Yeah, for
sure. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and give my pick. I think Colorado is going to win this game.
Really?
Yeah, I do think Colorado's going to win. Their quarterbacks that they got this guy named Juju Lewis. That's the freshman come in. He was a high 4-star commit quarterback, but he may not even start. The guy that they do have that's going to start, they brought in from Liberty.
Yeah.
I just think that Colorado, 8 p.m. a night game in Boulder, it's going to be crazy. I think Colorado wins in a close game.
I think it'll be electric. I think it'll be a close game as well. I'm kind of going back and forth on this one, but I personally believe that Brent Keyes is going to get it done, and it's going to be Georgia Tech.
Yep.
So that's our first house-divided take.
Well, yeah. I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to say that.
See, the Auburn
I think
mind.
you're wrong, okay?
Okay. Listen, the Auburn mind is a little slow, so
look, man.
Forgive my friend Ethan.
Dude, you're wearing a jersey of a kid, okay?
He's not a kid anymore. He's 18.
That's still a kid, all right? You were 10 years old when he was born, okay? You're 10. Is that right? Am I right on that? No? Okay.
That's not good math. Sorry, Auburn.
You were
Auburn friend.
8 years old. 8 years old.
So, Yeah, our next team, we're actually moving to Saturday with all the big games. Sorry.
I got a Rams card.
We're also going to be...
I got him to sign it.
True story.
Where's it at? Do you have it on you like a Pokemon trading card?
No, it's at my house.
Okay. All right. My bad.
But getting back into things, we have this Saturday, the big game, big noon kickoff, Lee Corso's final show putting on the headgear. We've got Ohio State and Texas, and Texas at Ohio State.
Big game.
And I think that's going to be a crazy one.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
Big game. Honestly, this is probably it's going to be a rematch at the end of the season, in my opinion. I think both of these teams are going to be playoff teams.
For sure. I don't think whoever wins or loses this game is not going to be in the playoffs.
No.
I think they both will.
Yeah, I think this is just a really cool game to have this early in the season. Here's my prediction. It's an Arch Manning coming out party. I think he proves that he can live up to the hype. I think Texas wins in a close game.
I recently watched an Omaha Productions where they were honoring and retiring Eli's number at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And, of course, Archie, the grandfather, went there too.
Yep.
And they were talking about, the only other number there that has been retired has been his number. I believe so. Or one of the only ones. However, they were talking about how Eli and Peyton didn't really get the speed that Archie had.
Yeah.
And I think from last season we saw some when Quinn Ewers was injured. I think Arch got the
has
speed.
it.
I think Arch has it.
Playing
on the game too, NCAA. He's got the speed.
It's crazy. I was looking at Coach O. I don't know why. I was like Googling him, and I saw this quote from Coach O that said this. Essentially, he went to Texas's practice over the summer, or I think it was their fall camp, and he said that Arch Manning is the closest thing to Joe Burrow that he's seen since coaching Joe Burrow. That is really high praise. And
Coach O talk like this. He's high praise since Joe Burrow. The best thing he's seen from Burrow, Joe. Since he's seen the Burrow. Since Joe.
Coach O, if you ever want to come on the show, come on.
We'll have yeah. But I'm telling you, I do think that Arch is actually, I think he's the real deal, and I think he proves that, and I think they go in and win.
I think it'll be a close game. I think Texas, has better returning production.
Okay.
I think you have Sarkisian. You have Texas looks good. I think Ohio State, Julian Saint's just unproven.
Yep.
I do think that he'll be a good quarterback.
Sure.
And I think there's just too many variables on Ohio State that it's too early for them to compete with Texas, even though it's at home.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a close game.
Yeah. So you're saying Texas?
Yeah, Texas.
Okay.
Texas
Hook 'em.
all the way, baby.
Hook 'em.
Normally I would say horns down. Got that on the show, horns down.
No, I'm
but
a big
today,
Texas
horns
guy.
up, baby.
Like Texas.
I'm sorry, Josh.
Yep.
But moving on to my favorite game of the weekend, we got Alabama at Florida State. We got Florida State's brand new stadium, so you know it's going to be packed out. But the Bama fans will show up in full force.
No, they won't.
For Kalen DeBoer, year 2.
No, they won't.
And Alabama is going to make a
lose.
statement by at least
Throwing
14
3
points, in my opinion.
3 interceptions.
I've been hearing good things about Ty Simpson. I've
throw 3
seen Josh
interceptions.
Pate go down there. I'm going to tune out the haters like I am with Ethan right
Oh,
now.
my gosh.
And I think
3
that
interceptions.
Ty Simpson is going to get the job done. We got Ryan Williams. We got Rico Scott.
Mid.
We got Isaiah Horton from
Mid.
Miami. We've got everybody.
Mid.
We got Dre Kirkpatrick. We
Mid.
got Jeremy Bernard. We
Mid.
got everybody. We have
All
a
of
whole unit. We got Damani Jackson. We got Deontay Lawson, LT Overton. We have the squad in Bach. We got Bach. We got Ryan Grubb coaching on the offense, Kane Womack on the defense. It's going to come together, and I do think that we're going to do better than we did last season. And I'll get into my prediction on how Bama's season's going to go, but I think that Alabama's got this game. I think first half FSU will put up a bit of a fight, but I do think in second half Bama comes out true fashion and they win the game by at least 2 possessions.
Okay. That's a take. That is a take.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a take. Honestly, I will be cheering for SFU. FSU. I'll be cheering for SFU. Said it again. I'll be cheering for Florida State the entire game. I really hope that their quarterback comes out and plays really well and proves all the things he's been saying. But I do think Alabama's going to win.
I think that Tommy Castellanos I think he's a great player. However, I don't think he's ready for the Bama defense, and I think he's been running his mouth, and he's about to learn what it means to talk about Bama.
You sound like Roll Tide Willie.
Roll Tide Willie.
Roll Tide. No. I think that Alabama is going to win. I think it's actually going to be closer than you think it is. I think it's going to be within 10 points. But I think Alabama's going to win.
I got too excited earlier and just realized we skipped over a game. And
No, we can keep going.
It was Tennessee's and Syracuse.
Yeah. We both think Tennessee's going to win.
We think Tennessee's going to win.
Yep.
Joey Aguilar, he'll probably be. I think Joey Aguilar will be good. Don't know much about Syracuse, but I do think that Tennessee should have this one. Rocky Top should.
You'll always be home sweet home to me.
I hate that guy.
Good old Rocky Top.
I hate that Gardy Orange. Garbage work trucker.
What are you saying?
Garbage worker convention in Neyland Stadium. I hate that Gaudy Orange. They're no good cheats.
Oh my
They're lying.
goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
That
And
was
then
awkward.
moving on to my other biggest
really
hater
awkward.
on the podcast, LSU and Brian Kelly. I just don't think Garrett Nussmeier gets it done. I just don't. I don't have faith in him. I think the one thing I can say is as bad as, like Alabama's postseason went without Oklahoma and stuff, I can't say we beat LSU. Our defense shut down Garrett Nussmeier, and I just don't think he's improved. And tell me this. Brian Kelly leaves Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman takes over. They're in the Natty. Tell me how that happens. I just don't think Brian Kelly gets it done, and he's on the hot seat and maybe is a step closer to losing his job.
So you don't think that Garrett Nussmeier is a good quarterback?
I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think unless he's tremendously improved, like we'll have to see in this game, he's got to prove me wrong.
Yeah. So how far can you throw a football? I'm not saying that I can throw. I'm not saying I can throw it that far either. But I am saying that he's a better quarterback than either one of us.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say he's not a good athlete.
Right.
However, I just don't think he can do it. Now, returning production with Clemson, we've got Cade Klubnik at quarterback, proven. They made it to the playoff. They lost to Texas. I do think that Dabo Swinney will pull the win at home and get the right to call their stadium Death Valley. Sorry, LSU, you have to change the name.
Yeah.
But give me Clemson.
Okay. That's a good take. I do agree. I do agree that Clemson has the upper hand in this game. Yeah. I'm actually not going to choose. I'm not going to choose who's going to win. Because I think it's a toss-up.
It's a night game.
I think it's just
Clemson.
A toss-up.
But it could go either way.
I personally think that Nussmeier, I don't know. I think that he could be better than Klubnik actually. But that is my opinion. But I do think that it's a toss-up game. I don't know who's going to win. I think both teams have a very, it's just going to be a really close game.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm excited about that game.
I am too. Moving on to the Sunday night game, we have Notre Dame playing at Miami.
Yep.
How do you feel about that game?
I know that you hate this, but I think that Carson Beck is actually a really good player. I saw him make some throws last year that are very NFL caliber throws, and just because he had some relationship drama with his girlfriend that lived in Miami at that point, I think they've
shouldn't have cheated on the Cavendish sister.
Okay, I think she may have. They may not be done at this point, but I'm sorry for him. But he, as a player, is a very good player, and so I think that he had just a really bad season last year. Like they didn't have a good offensive line, and so I think honestly, I've got Miami winning this game.
I think he's washed.
Okay.
I just was not impressed with him at Georgia. I honestly, personal opinion, I don't know how Georgia's going to go this year.
Yeah.
They could have a down year. They may make the playoff. They may not. They've just got to show me some things before I'm willing to say.
You talking about Georgia or Miami?
Georgia.
Okay.
Georgia. But even with Carson Beck, I think Georgia looked better in postseason when they put Gunnar Stockton in. So I honestly think Gunnar will be a step up from Carson Beck. I think Carson Beck, although he is a good athlete, there was just some moments where he made some mistakes that I just was not comfortable with.
Yeah, I think that he's better than what he showed last year. I think he
may have improved.
I think he bumps up his draft stock this year, and I think
it'd be better than Milroe.
Because Notre Dame does not have a proven quarterback. I think Miami at home takes care of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Notre Dame wins on the road. I think C.J. Carr coming in. I think that C.J. Carr can get it done. I think they have Jeremiah Love. I think they get it done. He is a beast. He did well for them with Riley Leonard when they were going up for the when that went on the run last year and made it all the way to the national championship. Fortunately, they could not get the job done. But
get it
done. Maybe they can win the big one this year.
Get the job done.
Don't know.
Get it done.
Get it done.
Get it done. All right, last game. UNC TCU.
Dude, we've got a game that I'm excited to see because of one man.
Yep.
And that man is Gio Lopez. Yeah, Gio Lopez, former quarterback of the South Alabama Jaguars. Go Jags to my Jag friends. I think that Gio is,
Dude, you have
is
friends
an elite
that are Jaguars?
Yeah, Jaguars from Mobile of all places.
What are you talking about?
But I honestly think
Mobile.
that they can. This game will be a good one. I think TCU's underestimating North Carolina, and I think that North Carolina. I'm torn, but give me Belichick, his first game in college football. Give him at least one win. I don't think he's going to do tremendously this season, but I at least give him an opening win to make a statement and say, hey, I'm going to maybe get a bowl game this year, and we'll build from there.
See, I disagree with you. I disagree. I know I said earlier that I thought UNC was going to win, but I look back through TCU's last year. They
were good last year.
They were good. They went 9-4 last year. I honestly think that they're.
But this is this year.
Okay, I think Bill Belichick has no idea what he's doing. I think he has no idea what he's doing. College level. I'm not.
Maybe he should stop dating girls.
Okay.
That are younger than him.
All right. Okay. All right. Maybe not.
Controversial take. Fight me, Bill.
Wow, this just got awkward. Anyway, Oh, Bill.
Oh, Bill.
Oh, Bill.
Oh, Bill.
Come on, Bill.
If you want to come on the show,
Bill,
we'll debate you.
Bill, you shouldn't come on our show. But if you wanted to, that'd be insane. Honestly, I bet your girlfriend wouldn't let you come on this show.
She doesn't let you do a lot of things. Boom.
I didn't say
roasted.
That. I did not say it.
So
anyway, we just think that Bill doesn't know. I don't think Bill knows what he's doing, to be honest. But I will say that I think that TCU gets it done. I think Bill Belichick looks like a fool, to be honest, and I think he doesn't last the season.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I give him at least 2 seasons, but you could be right.
Okay.
You could be right.
Right.
This game could go either way.
Or I could be wrong.
Or you could be wrong.
And you could be wrong.
I'm split on this one for sure. This is the one I'd probably the most
Alabama
split on.
could just lose all their games.
You know what?
That leads us
perfectly into the
this
final
right
thing
here.
where we're going to fist fight in front of you guys on camera.
We are. Actually, I don't think we're going to do that.
We're not going to do that.
Instead, I'm going to rip that jersey off your face and throw it out the window.
I'm going
off your
to
body,
poison
not your face.
the trees again.
Whoa! Good night. That's the craziest thing.
For legal purposes, this was a joke.
Okay, it better be.
It was a joke.
So what's your take on Alabama this year?
I think that Alabama will have a much better year in Kalen DeBoer year 2. I alluded to that earlier. We have the players. I think that Ty Simpson's going to ball out this season. I know Ethan disagrees. Hold up. Let me say my piece. I think that it all comes down to Ty Simpson. If Ty Simpson is the guy, Kalen DeBoer, we've got the addition of Ryan Grubb and that secret sauce between the two of them. I honestly think that they get it done, and Bama has an 11-1 year or a 10-2 year. Now, the only teams I'm really worried about this year, to be honest with you, is we got to go play at Georgia. Georgia's got that home streak, but I do think that we could end that streak there. Georgia Tech almost did it last season, but I think Bama can get it done. On top of that, LSU, it really depends on how good LSU is this year. If LSU can be a good team this year, then that's a problem with them coming into Bryant-Denny, and we have to play our best. If another thing is a big one on the road against Beamer, We got Sean Beamer. We've got
It's Shane.
Shane. My bad. I'm so sorry. We got Shane Beamer. I got a lot going through my brain. College football, baby, crazy. We college football sickos up in here.
We eat it for breakfast,
Dinner, and lunch. But I think that they've got their quarterback, Lenore Sellers. Could be a Heisman candidate quarterback if he balls out. I think they have the players.
Talking about Alabama or
South Carolina? South Carolina. And I think we could fall.
Off track here.
No. This ties in. This ties in.
All right.
I think we could fall witness to what they call, and Patrick may have to bleep this out.
Oh, no.
Over the Gamecocks. So if you guys know the South Carolina Gamecocks, they call it. Different people fall prey to that every year. And Alabama going to South Carolina, if this especially is a night game, that could be a very close game and could go either way. I'll be honest about that one. But I'm willing to go with Alabama has a much better year, gets in the playoff, and Kalen DeBoer extends his job, appeases Alabama fans. Ty Simpson looks good, and we have an 11-1 or a 10-2 season. And that's where I'm willing to go realistically.
I just got a couple questions to follow up on that.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns does Ty Simpson have in his college career?
I didn't look up the stats.
It's 0. He has 0 touchdowns. How many starts does he have in his college career?
0.
It's 0.
He did play in some games.
Yeah, but he has 0 starts.
He's won some national championships in my heart and on the game, so that's what all matters.
You talking about in the video
game?
In the video game. Okay, that's just
It's time to play the game, Ty
That's just
Simpson.
one question.
It's time to play the game.
Question number 2: who's your starting running back?
I know what you're going to say, but Jam Miller will be back by the Georgia game.
You didn't answer the question. Who's your starting
It's
running
Jam
back
Miller.
right now?
He has a collarbone injury.
He's not the starter if he's out for the first couple of games.
I believe it's what's his name? It's like
So just to
Washington?
clarify for the folks that are watching, Alabama's starting running back broke his collarbone in their fall camp.
Yeah,
So Alabama, just to prove some things here, Jam Miller, by the way, only had about 400 yards rushing last year. Okay, so just to give some pushback against the Alabama stuff, no proven quarterback, no proven running back, a good receiver in Ryan Williams, a good defense, but 2 of the most important groups on the field are unproven.
From everything that I've heard from people like Josh Pate that have gone down to watch scrimmages, from the interviews with the coaches and some of the footage from practice that I've seen, our backup guys in our depth roster look just as good as some of our first-string guys.
Okay.
They are ready to go. We have some depth to our roster that we did not have last year, and we had that this year. People have bought into the Kalen DeBoer system, and I think that we have the depth, and we will wait for Jam to get back, but we can make it till then.
All right. I think
What
you're
about
wrong.
them Tigers,
I think
then?
you're wrong.
Tell me about them Tigers.
Well, I think, let me just give my prediction for Alabama. I think they lose 3 to 4 games this year. I think they lose 3 to 4 games, and I think one of them's to Auburn.
Best I can
I
do.
think-
Best I can do. Best I can do is 2.
I think one of them's to Auburn. Here, this is my take. Auburn
Delusional.
has had everyone knows Auburn's had a rough run of it lately. Last year was 5-7. Year before that, 6-7. No, 6-6.
He doesn't even know.
You're right. I don't. I've
This man thinks
stopped
about the
caring as
kick
much.
6 every day, and that's all he
Okay,
can say.
let's keep going. I actually don't think about the kick 6 every day. Thank you. So here's my take for the season. I think we go 8-4. I think we split either the Alabama or the Georgia game. I think whichever. I mean, I think those games.
I honestly agree with you in one area.
Yeah.
I do think that you guys can beat Georgia.
Sure.
It is a home game at Auburn, and I think you guys will be a little bit better this year. It'll be around Jackson Arnold, and I honestly think that you guys may not be a playoff caliber team, but you guys will at least get a bowl game. You'll be on the right track. Hugh Freeze will extend his job, get off the hot seat, and you guys will be prepared going forward to be a playoff caliber team and maybe contend with teams like Alabama more. But I do think that there is a chance that Georgia could have a down year, and if that happens, you guys beat them.
So did I let you finish when I was talking or when you were talking?
I was just filling in a little bit there.
No. You were like, let me finish. Now let me finish. Thank you. So I think that we've just the reason I think we're going to go 8-4. This is the floor is 8-4. Okay, actually the floor is going to be 7-5, but I do think we're going to go 8-4. All right. Now, I think we have the best receivers that we've had in years, a better receiver room than Alabama. We have a very young team, very young linebackers, very young defensive backs. We have the best quarterback we've had since Bo Nix, a more proven quarterback than Alabama, mind you. I know he turned the ball over a lot, but he's more proven than whatever his name is.
Ty Simpson.
Okay. They have, like I
goat.
said, a very good defensive backfield, returning production on the defensive line. And I will list the questions. The questionable areas are going to be our running back room. We don't have Jarquez Hunter. They're going to be our linebackers.
But we have Cam Coleman.
And it's going to be Jackson Arnold. I don't know if he can get his stuff together, and if he can play like the 5-star he was out of high school, then we're going to go 10-2 and have a playoff bid.
I disagree. I think even though you have a better year, I don't think you make the playoff. You lose some games. Like I said.
Well, I think you're freaking delusional. That's what I think.
I don't entertain delusional thoughts, therefore I can't be delusional.
That's what he said when they lost to Vanderbilt last year. Yeah.
He's got me there.
I did say that. Yeah. That's right. Anyway.
Thank
you for coming.
I'm an Auburn fan, and I'm right about everything. Can't even decide if they're the Tigers or the Eagles.
Oh, my gosh.
Out here saying War Eagle when their mascot's a freaking tiger.
Oh, my gosh. Look, Alabama fans, all they do is throw personal attacks, man. Personal attacks.
And all Auburn fans do is go to Cal College.
Did you go to Alabama? Nope.
I plead the fifth.
That's what I thought. Micah, this has been fun, brother. I honestly, y'all may be sitting here being like, golly, these guys are ruthless to each other, but we really love each other, and we really have a fun time talking about it. This is all for fun. We actually are really good friends. And
that's what he thinks.
We really value each other's friendship, to be honest. But you're freaking delusional. I'm done with this.
I can do this show on my own. Welcome to the Paul Feinbaum Show. Thank you guys for watching the House Divided podcast. This has been your host, Micah, and I don't know where Ethan went.
The door locks automatically. That's actually a really good way to end.